What's up, guys? Scott back here once more with another video. Today I'm going to be reviewing the newest MCU movie, Thunderbolts. So this is a movie I've been looking forward to for a while, and so right out the gate, and it kind of presented this in the marketing. So this really isn't a spoiler. This is really Yelena's movie. Yelena is introduced in the Black Widow movie as Natasha's adoptive sister. So that kind of established her, and she wasn't introduced until post Endgame. So she's a fresh new face in this new saga. And most of the characters in this movie we didn't really see too much of them before this movie. But this really is her movie. We see the story through her eyes. You know, when she was introduced, it was actually set before Endgame when Natasha was still alive. But now we see her post Endgame. And she was snapped. Yelena was snapped. So she was gone for 5 years. So she didn't get to say goodbye to Natasha. In fact, Natasha's sacrifices would allow her to come back. So I almost forgot to mention that. So yes, Yelena was a victim of the snap before being brought back. So that's weighs even more on her, right? So she's dealing with the aftermath of Natasha's death and being brought back and not being able to say goodbye. We see a lot of that in this movie. And this really is a character journey for her, And by the end, she goes through this great character arc, and by the end, she kind of is where her sister was. She striving to be a better person, a better hero. And all the characters in this movie. We got the other members: Ava Starr, Ghost; John Walker, U.S. Agent; Bucky, who's been around a long time in the MCU; Red Guardian, who's Natasha's and Yelena's adoptive father. All these characters go through a great arc in the movie, where by the end they come out, in my opinion, as better heroes and better people by the end. At first they don't really get along. There's a lot of baggage with these characters, but they learn to overcome their issues, work together, and we to go through this great journey. And we get this new character introduced called Bob, or Robert Reynolds, aka the Sentry, also the Void. And I won't really go into too specific there, but his character goes through a great journey in this movie. We see him go through a lot in this movie. This movie accomplishes a lot in kind of a short runtime, so that's impressive writing and stuff right there. So to give all these characters such a great arc within about 2 hours. So this is a very good movie. The humor, the action, the dynamic between the characters was all really well done overall. I can't really think of any negatives off the top of my head as far as the humor or action goes. But so yes, I really like the movie. You should go see it. So I give it a 9 out of 10. I can't really think of any major negatives that are sticking out to me. But I really want to talk about. Okay, now we're getting into spoilers. So I like the movie. So I really want to talk about the ending and the post-credit scene. Okay. So at the end of the movie, the team, I won't really say how, but the team, the Thunderbolts, becomes the new Avengers. And so that's how the movie ends. They are now called the New Avengers. So then we get to the credit scene, and it's the credits. The credit scene takes place 14 months after the events of the main movie. So, or about a year later. So the New Avengers are based out of the old Avengers Tower. So we see them coming back from a mission or something, and they all have new suits, upgraded suits, kind of. And they all look good. They all look really good. So they're all coming back, and apparently they're facing kind of public backlash. And apparently Sam Wilson is putting together his own team of Avengers, which we kind of knew. And they're talking about how they're being sued for copyright. It's kind of funny. So this credit scene sets up that interesting dynamic. Like going into Doomsday, are we going to have two competing Avengers teams? Are they going to be competing with each other to see who can stop Doctor Doom first? Are they going to ultimately work together? So there's that interesting dynamic going into Doomsday of two Avengers teams. And then also in the credit scene, they're also talking about there's this outer crisis in outer space going on. Like, okay, that's interesting. And then all of a sudden the alarm system in the tower starts going off, and like multi-dimensional aircraft entering the atmosphere or something. And Yelena's they pull it up. They're pull it up on the big screen, the satellite, and they see this spaceship coming through a wormhole. And as the shuttle spaceship turns, you see the Fantastic Four logo. So that's obviously. So this credit scene sets up a couple of things. Like I said, one, the potential two Avengers teams competing in Doomsday. Kind of maybe they'll be at odds at first. And then confirming that the Fantastic Four will come from another universe to the main MCU, which has been theorized for a long time. So the credit scene got me excited to see what's going to happen next. And in general, this movie not only was a good movie in its own right, but it also did what I wanted it to. It made me excited to see this Thunderbolts, new Avengers back for Avengers Doomsday, because they're all confirmed. Yelena, Red Guardian, John Walker, Ghost, Bob, and all of them are back for Doomsday. That was confirmed like a month or two ago that they'll all be back. They'll all be back for Avengers Doomsday. So this movie made me excited to see them again and what their dynamic's going to be going forward. So the movie did that great too. So yes, definitely go see this movie. Check it out. Stay for the credit scenes. It sets up a lot of exciting stuff, and so this movie gets my seal of approval. So the next major superhero movie coming out will be Superman, but I'm definitely doing a couple more videos between now and then. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned in. Peace out.